Hey everyone, it's Marabelle Blue. Welcome to my coaching channel. I just finished recording the Unfiltered Reality TV on Joey the Bachelor. So you will be seeing that going up on my Unfiltered channel. I wanted to record this that I had seen about a week ago where a girl named Brittany had recorded her firing and put it all over social media. Now, in addition to recording that, I had seen some responses to that, namely one person who is not a person that I follow, but he kind of said things that made sense as to why maybe you shouldn't be recording and putting all over social media how you got fired and the details of what happened. Getting fired is not fun. I personally have had that experience before. It's not a pleasant experience, especially when you feel you've done everything humanly possible to correct anything they, in their mind, they created you were doing wrong. It's not a pleasant experience, but at the end of what happened to me when I moved out here, I am forever grateful not to be at such a lame ass company with lame ass people. All that being said, I just wanted to do something impromptu and share this video that this girl Brittany put up of her firing. Now it's kind of like a 9-10 minute video. I don't want to put the whole thing up there. So I will let it play out and I'm just going to intercept and make comments about things that was happening within that firing. Before I get into the firing that she recorded from Cloudflare, I just want to share my screen here. What is Cloudflare? Millions of internet properties are on Cloudflare. I think I keep calling it Cloudflare. It's Cloudflare. And our network is growing by the tens of thousands each day. Cloudflare powers internet requests for millions of websites and serves 50 million HTTP requests per second on average. On the site, it shows you how it works with things online. If you're getting too many requests, I think, if I'm not mistaken, there have been times maybe you log into a website and it'll say like you can't go on, or like Cloudflare. There'll be like some kind of a message. And you know that that company has partnered with Cloudflare for their product. I'm not really too familiar with exactly how it works, but if you go to their website, you can see how it works for you with SSL connections. If you're a business owner and this is something that you're looking into to have extra protection from hackers, this would probably be a good site to utilize if that's what you're looking to do. But let's get back into Brittany sharing her situation. So she was working for the company, I believe, about 4 months, and she had heard about other people getting laid off, and she knew that she was going to be next on the list because she had seen appointments that were coming up on her calendar. I believe she mentioned that they were changed several times, or she had seen other appointments for other people who had gotten laid off. And even after having conversations with her manager, who insisted that she was doing a great job, she still lost her job anyway. So let's play a little bit of this clip.
Hey, Brittany.
Hi.
Yes, I'm so sorry. My name's Rosie. I'm just joining the call. Nice to meet you. I'm on the HR team.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Brittany.
Hi.
Thanks for meeting with me and Rosie. We have an important meeting today. We finished our evaluations of 2023 performance. This is where you have not met Cloudflare expectations for performance. We've decided to part ways with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop you right there.
Sure.
So I started August 25th. I've been on a 3-month ramp, and then It was 3 weeks of December, and then a week of Christmas, and then here we are. I have had the highest activity amongst my team. Since I've started, I have had 3 contracts out, done a really great job managing my deals up until the very end that decided not to close last minute. So I don't think that that makes a lot of sense for me in my Cloudflare journey here so far. Also, every single one-on-one I've had with my manager, every conversation I've had with him, he has been giving me nothing but I am doing a great job. I have had great activity. I have really great meetings. I'm picking up the products very quickly, and things have been going really, really well. I make really great relationships with my clients. So I disagree that my performance hasn't been, I haven't met performance expectations, when I certainly have, just because I haven't closed anything officially.
I had to unmute my mic. I said, okay, let me just stop at this moment here because she brings up certain points about her performances, how she's gotten basically rave reviews from her manager, who I thought it was a woman, but actually it's a man because she said he. She never got any complaints. She's a salesperson. She hasn't really sold anything, but yet her manager has insisted that she is performing great. She's doing really well. She's picking up all the techniques and tools that she needs in order for her to be a successful employee. Now, all of these things are good. The issue here is, and this is what I've seen with past companies, how they work with other people. Sometimes managers are not very forthcoming. A lot of the times, it is not the manager's decision to let go of their team members, especially, well, I should say, depending on how the corporation is set up. A lot of these corporations, I've noticed, they're very cultish like, and I know I said I was going to talk about the cult mentality in the workplace. I've yet to do that video, and that's something that I really want to explore. We'll get to that sooner or later. There are places that have you take a personality test, and within this personality test, they're basically trying to make a guesstimation of who you are as a person. What are your strong suits? What's not your strong suits? How you handle specific situations. Are you a person that just kind of throws everything under the rug? Are you a person that's a go-getter, aggressive? It's just very stupid. It's not real. You can't give somebody a personality test and then use that test against them for anything that person will look at and say, well, they're not really strong in this area. Like, who the fuck are you to make any kind of guesstimation with a person that you don't live with? You only work with them. You're seeing them the majority of the day. And here's the other thing, sharing anything personal about your life in a workplace is a big no. Maybe back in the 80s when I first started working, people were pretty much loyal to a point, but later on down the line, there was no loyalty. If somebody wanted to make you look bad and throw you under the bus just so that they could look better for their manager, yes, they will do that. And they don't care about what kind of bills you're paying, if you have children or not. No, they don't care. You will get a severance package and be sent on your way. And it's mortifying for people to do shit like that. They're not thinking about your needs. There are companies that just don't give a fuck. And I hate cursing on my channel, but it is the only way for me to express the harshness that a lot of these companies have. And they will make every excuse in the book. They will talk all of this HR nonsense because remember, HR, let me just put myself here for a minute. HR is only there to protect the company so they don't get sued. Now, human resources, right, was supposed to be there for the employee. If the employee has a problem with a manager, they should be able to speak somebody in human resources and say, hey, I feel uncomfortable. I'm being harassed in some sort of way. I'm coming in on time. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, but they're turning around and they're telling me I'm not meeting expectations, whatever the case may be. Now, if you do that, somehow it turns against you because human resources now has to go look in their policies to make sure that there isn't anything where they can get sued. That's what it all comes down to. So they will use every excuse in the book to make you feel like shit, to make you look bad so that they can let you go, which is kind of like the icing on the cake. Well, you're not really performing up to par, so we're kicking you to the curb. Well, why didn't my manager tell me any of this? Maybe I would have improved. It's not the manager's decision. Like I said, it depends on how the corporation is set up. So let's continue listening to Brittany's story.
I hear you.
Also,
Thank you.
why are you doing this and not my manager? Not, we've never met. So this seems a little odd that my manager has no idea that this has been happening and the director has no idea that this has been happening. So I'm just definitely confused. And yeah, I would love like an explanation that makes sense.
100%. Real quick, let me carve out the two threads. The latter of why I'm on this conversation, I'll put that one to the second half, and Rosie might be better to explain the process of who's getting this information. And the prior piece, which is your feedback and notes about your performance. So let me add a little color context to that. So just for clarification, you are not being singled out in this. Your peers are also being collectively assessed on performance. This is a collective calibration for Cloudflare. So I just want to clarify that piece. I won't be able to add any kind of specifics on numbers or.
Wait, yeah, no, can you explain for me why Brittany Peitsch is getting let go?
I won't be able to go into specifics for numbers.
Wait, why though? I just started. I've been working extremely hard. Just because I haven't closed anything that has nothing to do with my performance on a 3-month ramp with just 1 month with two major holidays in the middle, I don't think that has anything to do.
So let's just touch on this part over here. They've already made up their mind. No matter what it is that she says, she talks about, I want specifics towards me. What did I do? Because they're generalizing and they're saying it's not just you. Your peers have also had issues where they didn't sell anything and they were also let go. I understand that she wants to focus in on herself and what is it that she can do to correct it when she goes on to her next job, that she is not making the same mistakes. Now, could it be that the conversations that she had with her manager, maybe he was just gassing her up and saying, yeah, you're doing a great job, but in reality she was not doing a great job and he didn't have the heart to tell her because he didn't want to hurt her feelings? Here's the deal. When it comes to employment, when it comes to you getting a review or even you checking in with your manager and finding out, am I doing this correctly? Am I meeting the expectations? Because when you get like those reviews, they're really horrible. They want you to go, well, how did you do? And of course, you're going to put down, you exceed expectations because in your mind, that's what you believe. But then when it comes to your manager actually grading you and your manager's like, yeah, you meet expectations, but you don't exceed in this area, maybe you exceed in that area, and you're like, well, what's going on? Didn't we have this conversation? I thought that I was doing great, because there are people who can sit there and say, I'm doing a fantastic job, and then that review comes and it's entirely opposite of what you expected it to be. It's not conducive for a manager to lie to a person and say, yeah, you're doing a great job. Guaranteed her manager knew she was going to be let go. It sounds like the hierarchy is if they review a manager's team, whoever is above that manager, if they're reviewing their team, how they're doing, how they're selling, what are the numbers, because that's what it all comes down to. It comes down to the numbers. You're in sales, it comes down to the numbers. You're not meeting the numbers, they're telling your manager who stays and who goes. So it's going to be somebody above them. Clearly, the manager, her manager, doesn't have that kind of leverage where he could tell his superiors, but I really like her. She's great. She has a great personality. Well, how much has she sold? Well, she sold 0. Then why is she here? Why are we giving her a paycheck? That's the way they're going to look at it. Harsh, but true. Let's continue on.
Do with why I should be let go, if that makes sense. So I really need an answer and an explanation as to why Brittany Peitsch is getting let go, not why Cloudflare decided to hire too many people and are now actually realizing that they can't afford this many people and they're letting that go. If that's the real answer, I would rather just you tell me that instead of making up some bullshit and telling me that right before I lose my job from someone that I've never met before, if you can respect that.
Yeah, I can totally respect that. And I don't think Dom or myself today is going to give you any clarity or answers that's going to meet the expectations that you're communicating to us, Brittany. So I can't speak to.
So am I getting let go for no reason? If you guys can't give me a reason?
I'm happy to follow up with you separately to give you the data that was calibrated. I'll need to speak with revenue leadership specifically to see if we can get that for you. But Dom and
Can
I
you
did
share
not
that
have
with me now?
in our meeting. I cannot share that with you right now, unfortunately. Yeah, it's understandable how you feel and your frustration. Cannot stress that enough.
I have been working extremely hard. I just knew that this meeting was coming after knowing what's been happening with my peers and how extremely frustrated and upset everyone is. I know you guys must not be able to understand that given in the positions that you are in, and it must be very easy for you to just have these little 10-minute, 15-minute meetings, tell someone that they're fired, completely wreck their whole life, and then that's it with no explanation. That's extremely traumatizing for people, if you can imagine that. And I don't think that this is, it's just very, very shocking. Very, very shocking. I've like really given my whole energy and life over the last 4 months to this job. And to be let go for no reason is like a huge slap in the face from a company that I really wanted to believe in.
Let me just stop there. She keeps insisting that they're letting her go for no reason. And while it sounds like there isn't a reason, there is a reason on their end why she's getting let go. Again, I am not saying this to condone Cloudflare and how they went about the situation. I think that these two random people, they were just given a name and a folder of information, and here's the script of what to say, and that's that. I don't think that they realized that she was going to clap back and say, where's the report? Where are the numbers? Show me what it is that I did. Give me something. Give me some kind of data that's going to help me be better in my next job. Because that's what it comes down to. You want to understand. Let's say somebody is interviewing relentlessly and they're not getting any jobs whatsoever. They're getting turned down left and right. Why am I not getting this job? Would it behoove you to contact maybe the previous person who interviewed with you and say, hey, I know that this is something probably not customary, but I'd like to know, is there something that I could have done better to get the job? I've been going on several different interviews. I don't seem to be getting the job that I'm looking for. And I really want to understand, was there something I did wrong? Was there something that I said? Most times than not, people will take the time out to speak with you, especially if you're calling in the interest of how can I improve so that I could be a better candidate for the next interview. There are also places like ZipRecruiter, I think, may offer blogs. Indeed may offer blogs. I know a lot of these sites, they also don't check their jobs. They have a lot of scam jobs in there. So people are just applying relentlessly relentlessly and they're not really paying attention to what they're applying to, you must pay attention. Keep a record of what you've applied to, dates, what job it was, whatever details, so that when that person calls you, when I was looking for a job, they'll be like, yeah, do you remember applying for the job? I'm like, yeah, of course I do. And I don't, because it was just like one after the other. Sooner or later would come, I would go back. These sites, you can see a history. It's easier to have some kind of pad near you. So when they do call, you can refer to that pad and say, oh, yes, I remember applying for this job and I'm interested because of A, B, and C, whatever that list is. That will definitely help you get you in the door, because not only have you recalled the job, but now you're telling the person why you applied for it and why you were interested in it and why you feel you're a good candidate for that job. That's all these people want to hear. They don't want to hear your whole life story. They don't want to hear about how you had a dog and then lost it. Nobody wants to hear that. I'm just throwing some random story out there. Nobody wants to hear your personal business. They want to hear, what skills do you have, and do you have the skills needed for this job that you're applying for? Can you be successful at it? So no matter what it is that she gets, whatever raw data that she gets from her numbers, will that help her for her next job? I don't know. I think it's a matter of, she's very emotional about what is happening. And no matter how much you prepare for something like this, it never feels good when it's actually happening. So let's go back to her video.
I absolutely understand how you feel that way, why you feel that way. And I'll be honest with you, there's nothing that we're going to say in this call in the time that we have that's going to undo the way that you feel right in this moment. I personally will do everything that I can to give you as much specific information as I can after this call. I can't make any promises. I understand where you're coming from. I can tell you that Dom and I do care. I understand the feeling that you have right now. And I can't change that. So I'll just be honest.
But why can't, so, but there, you guys have still not given me a reason why I'm being let go. Despite constant positive praise from my manager, great meetings that I'm having, the amount of activity that I have has all been positive. I have not received any negative inclination. I have not been put on a performance improvement plan, nothing. So.
And I cannot speak to what your manager has communicated to you directly.
But that should be the indication of
poor performance based on your attainment and leading indicators of data. That is the rationale.
But I've been here for only a month after ramping, and that was during a holiday. So I don't understand what those, can you explain what those performance metrics are? Or is that just like a vague term to give to everyone that you're speaking to today?
I'll say that the performance indicators and performance metrics are, while they are, we're not able to go into specifics, and we won't, there's no situation where we will be able to go into
Do you guys even know like why, like who you're talking to each day? Like every single 10, 15 minutes, do you guys even know who you're talking to?
Now, here is the sad part to all of this. I'm sure that these two people were not expecting for her to come out the way she did, that she was asking for specifics. Clearly, they did not have the answers that she was looking for. Now, whatever it is that they tell her, at the end of the day, it's not going to make her feel better about herself, especially if she loved this job, she loved the relationships that she could have been making at this job. Maybe she just saw a future, there could be potential growth. So they are just spewing anything at this point to make her understand something that she's not going to understand. Whoever these two people are, you hear the woman saying, I understand, I've been in your position, etc., etc. And you know what? That's all well and good. It's good that she understands, whoopee-doo. That does not take away how this girl is feeling right now, especially if like maybe this is her first major company that she's worked for out of college. Maybe she felt, wow, look at all the potential that I've been working for a great company. They have a great reputation. They're doing all of these wonderful things. The integrity they have, the culture, I fit right in. And you just get diluted with everything, not realizing that your manager is probably not being forthcoming in your performance level. If anything, she should be taking her anger out on the manager. I hope that she contacted the manager and said, hey, what happened? You said I was doing a great job and I still got fired. What happened? Why didn't you tell me? And maybe the manager will be forthcoming. I don't know. I have not followed up if she did like a follow-up, if she spoke with her manager. I would recommend, if she can get in touch with her manager, speak to him, find out what happened. What's the story? And I would suggest that she not put it out there. So let's finish up this video because we're just at the tail end now.
Like why you're letting these people go when you don't even understand like the kind of work and everything that they've put in.
I hear you and what you're saying.
It just doesn't make any sense that you guys have still not been able to give me a reason why I'm being let go.
Just from a process perspective, your questions are valid. This isn't going to be the forum and the situation where we're able to go into the detail that you're looking for.
But then when? If it's not right as I'm getting fired, then it's certainly not going to be after when I'm no longer part of the company.
No. So I don't think there's anything we can say in this moment or today, Brittany, that's going to change the way that you feel. And it's understandable. I'm taking notes and feedback, and we'll circle back.
Yeah, I know you did that for Nestle too, but that's
of the meeting. It's not going to change the outcome of the situation today. So it may be best if I do get into more of the specifics of what the next steps are, because I think it's clear that you have questions that we cannot give answers to. And if you'd be open to it, I'd love to move into what the next steps are so that you're not any further blindsided than you already feel.
okay.
Thank you, Dom. Okay, and I'm really sorry that you're having this experience and feeling this way. One of the things that we want to confirm is your personal email address, because that's where all.
So I'm not going to play the video of the response from this guy because, like I said, he's an a-hole. He's a MAGA person, and I do not feel like sharing that kind of human form on my channel. But there was something that he said that gave me pause for thought. Actually, there was a little bit of common sense in this person's brain. He made a mention of who is going to hire her after she just did this whole public display of firing. This is where you have to use your critical thinking skills. Now, this video that was put up by somebody else. Now, it could be somebody else that she saw the girl directly and then she went and reposted the video, because a lot of the times people will put up videos just so that they can gain views from that said video. The bottom line is, yes, she would have to take under consideration that she posted this on TikTok. Okay, other companies will see this and probably wonder, is it a good idea to hire a person that just posted on social media her firing? In the essence of the content itself, did she do anything wrong? Did she say anything wrong? No. My own personal opinion, I don't think that she did. What she did was disclose how this company was firing people. She probably spoke with her peers and they told her what experiences they had when they were let go from the company, whether or not they had legit reasons as to what they were told, if the reasoning was legitimate. Maybe Cloudflare is doing a massive layoff. Who knows what's going on within the company? I don't work for the company. I don't represent the company. So the things that I'm saying are just my own personal thoughts that I'm airing out loud. You just never know what's going on within a company. They they feel the need to round up people they don't like for whatever reason that is, and then give them a bullshit excuse as to why they are letting them go. That's the bottom line. Now, will she get another job after this? I'm sure that she will. She's not going to be jobless. She's not going to be homeless. But I would say, in the rise of people putting their resignations on social media, making announcements if they worked for a big retail store, whatever store that was, and they felt the need to get on the microphone and tell everybody to F off and F you, and whoever it is that they don't like, they give them an unpleasant shout out. Those aren't good things to do. And the reason why it's not a good thing to do is, if you know that you are not going to need this employer as a reference, then more power to you. But if you are going to need them as a reference, think about your actions before you decide to do something there, because employers will put on your record, can they be rehired? No, they can do that. And now if you're applying for another job and the person calls up and says, we just want to get dates on this person, did they work from this date to this date? That person will answer yes. I don't know if it's credible for an employer to ask, would you rehire them again? Would be somebody that you would rehire? If that box is checked no, that person from that company, that human resources person, is going to tell the other human resources person, no, they will not be rehired. They can't come back here. How do you think that other person on the phone is going to take that? In their mind, oh, problem employee, can't have that, can't have people who are going to be a problem, and then we have to let them go and then spend money again to hire another employee. Remember, companies are only looking at the numbers. They don't care about your personal life, your personal goals. They want to know, are you performing and are you meeting their expectations? Are you following the policies that you signed off on? That's all they care about. Companies are not what they used to be back in the day. I remember I took a history course. I took an American history course in college, how we all came to be the United States. I'm sorry that I threw out all those papers, because the things that were in there was incredible. The history of America. There was no paper that said you're employed at will and we can let you go without any notice. There was nothing like that. If somebody needed to take time off because they were sick, that employer was like, you have a job here, you go and you get better, and when you get better, you can come back. People were guaranteed a job until they died. And then you got the disclaimer in the bottom, we don't discriminate, we don't do this, we don't do that. And there are companies that will, okay? They will do that and still have that disclaimer in the bottom. Let's be real about that. And I could name at least one company over the top of my head. They will. They will. Trust me when I tell you, they will. They will not care who you have at home, what babies you're feeding, what babysitter you're paying, how much rent you got to pay for your apartment. They don't care. And doing these public, I quit, not a good look. Because if you need that job for a reference, think about it. Use your critical thinking skills. Now, again, I'm not saying that what this girl did was wrong. She put it out there. It's out there for the world to see. Remember, the internet is forever. Other employers will come across that video. Remember when Facebook first came out? Employers were using Facebook to find out what you were doing while you were not at work. And if you were in a bar drinking and you just happened to be holding a drink in your hand, oh no, that doesn't fit with our company culture. All of a sudden, companies were in your business after work. And yeah, do people till this day still use that? You have a lot of Kevins and Karens out gallivanting their whole racial thing for the whole world to hear, and people will get fired. People will lose businesses. Businesses will close up because they probably got people calling them up, giving them bad reviews, and calling them and saying things that they probably shouldn't be saying. But you know what? These people shouldn't be out there disclosing their hatred for the whole world to see. That's also not a good thing to do. It's very ignorant on their part. You're still toting around flags that are irrelevant. saying things that don't make any sense, talking about other countries that you know nothing about. Stay in this moment. Think about what you want to do in the future. I believe this girl will be very successful, but at the same time, I do not recommend that people follow suit. This is not a trend that you think everybody's on my side. Do you see people paying your bills? No. Think about those things before you make a decision like this. I'm sorry that she got fired. It sucks. It sucks that she's talking to two random people on the other end who have no idea who she is. She has no idea who they are, and they couldn't give her straight answers. Not cool. But again, I must stress, sometimes it's just best to keep those things in private. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this little commentary. What are your thoughts? Have you ever had unpleasant experiences where you feel that you were unjustly let go from your job? I would love to hear your comments. And as always, remember, be good to yourself, be good to each other, and most importantly, take care of you. Bye, everybody.